Number 20. Will Smith, $350 million. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air sits on a $350 million fortune. Around 80% of that was made from acting gigs, with the rest coming from varied investments. He prefers being paid a salary plus a certain percentage of the profits. Because of that, Men in Black 3, 2013, got him $20 million as a base salary and an $80 million payout that represented 10% of the gross. Netflix paid him $27 million for Bright, 2017, while King Richard netted him a $20 million salary plus a $40 million payout. Will Smith has quite the car collection and owns a Rolls-Royce Ghost, a bulletproof Maybach 57S, a 1965 Ford Mustang, and a BMW i8. He also has a custom motorhome worth $2.5 million. His $42 million mansion in Calabasas, Los Angeles is also to die for. I didn't know Kevin Hart and Robert De Niro were richer than Will Smith, though. Be sure to stick to the end to see the female actor who holds the richest actor title and the obscene amount she is worth in 2022. If you thought Will is rich, wait till you hear just how much these next actors are worth, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on more amazing actor videos. Number 19. Clint Eastwood, $375 million. Here comes the man with no name, and he does appear to have more than the fistful of dollars needed to buy 2 mules for Sister Sarah. The movies Eastwood has been involved with as both an actor and director have grossed a total of over $2.5 billion at the box office. From being paid $15,000 for A Fistful of Dollars, 1964, he got $400,000 plus 10% of the gross for Hang 'em High, 1968. And in 1978, he earned $12 million for Every Which Way But Loose. Eastwood has a 15,949 square foot estate in California, a 6,136 square foot Spanish-style mansion in Bel Air, a 1,068-acre ranch in Boerne, a 5,700 square foot house in Idaho, and an oceanfront property in Hawaii. As an OG gearhead, his garage contains a Ferrari 365 G4 Berlinetta Boxer, a Jaguar XK150 Roadster, a Cadillac Escalade Series 62 convertible, and a Gran Torino. He also holds fixed-wing and rotary craft licenses and a few helicopters. Number 18. Keanu Reeves, $380 million. Keanu Reeves has been repeatedly quoted as saying that money means nothing to him. He has few possessions, and it wasn't till 2003 that he bought a 5,607 square foot mansion. His cars include a Ferrari 488, Porsche 911 Carrera, Audi A8, Dodge Charger SRT, Bentley Continental GT, Ferrari California T, Bugatti Veyron, and Mercedes-Benz GLE. Keanu Reeves has a knack for starring in ultra-successful movies. The Matrix franchise, for example, has pulled in $1.6 billion so far, while Speed, 1995, got a couple of Academy Awards and raked in $350.5 million at the box office. The John Wick franchise hasn't done too badly either, with $500 million plus in the till, and all of Keanu's movies have a combined gross of over $4.6 billion. He got paid $10 million for the first Matrix movie, plus a cut of the profits that took the total amount he received to $35 million, and that is $53 million today. The second Matrix movie got him a combined total of $125 million in salary and bonuses, with the third giving him a payout of $79 million. Number 17. Bill Cosby, $400 million. Bill Cosby has had to pay millions in legal bills and to settle lawsuits, but he's still one of the richest actors in Hollywood, unlike the actor coming up whose net worth has more than halved over the years. He was at one time the highest paid TV actor and was pulling in $1 million per episode on the set of The Cosby Show, with this increasing to $4 million per episode when syndication, creator rights, producer rights, and others were tacked on. Adjusted for inflation, that's like $8 million per episode in today's money. Apart from that, he held 20% of the show's equity, and that has paid several hundreds of millions over multiple decades. Royalties from his old shows have, however, taken a severe hit after most were pulled in light of his sexual assault conviction. Bill Cosby invested most of the money he made into buying artworks and real estate. He owns an art collection that's worth over $150 million and has properties in Pennsylvania and Beverly Hills. Number 16. Tom Hanks, $400 million. Tom Hanks usually opts for performance-based pay. Forrest Gump, for instance, pulled in $700 million at the box office, plus $100 to $200 million from DVD sales and licensing deals. From that, he earned a $70 million plus payout, equivalent to over $120 million today when adjusted for inflation. He also got $20 million for Castaway, an estimated total of $100 million from Polar Express, and $50,000 for the first Toy Story animated movie, followed by $5 million and $15 million salaries for the second and third Toy Story films. He also got $40 million for Saving Private Ryan and $68 million from playing the role of Robert Langdon in a trio of movies. Tom Hanks currently owns an oceanfront mansion in Malibu Colony that's worth north of $20 million, plus a mansion in Greece. And there are several houses in the Pacific Palisades with his name on the title deed. Number 15. Mark Wahlberg, $405 million. Marky Mark received $7.5 million for Ted, and he made $3 million per year for 8 years as Entourage's producer. Uncharted, the 2022 blockbuster, got him $30 million, and he got blessed with $17 million and $40 million for Transformers: Age of Extinction and Transformers: The Last Knight, respectively. He's the owner of a 30,500 square foot Beverly Hills palace that features 12 bedrooms, 20 bathrooms, a pool, a library, a spa, a basketball court, and a golf course. However, he recently put that house on the market, and it can all be yours once you pony up $90 million. In August this year, he and his wife splashed out $15.6 million for a couple of vacant lots in a very exclusive Los Angeles community. Wahlberg's car collection is his pride and joy, and he's got a Lamborghini Diablo VT Roadster, Mercedes-Benz SLS AMG, Rolls-Royce Cullinan, and Rolls-Royce Phantom Drophead Coupe. Marky Mark partly owns a Barbados-based cricket team and has a significant share in a bottled water company. He also owns Wahlburgers with his brother, is the part owner of a sports nutrition company called Performance, and has a stake in the F45 fitness franchise. Number 14. Jack Nicholson, $410 million. Jack Nicholson holds 3 Academy Awards and has been Academy Award nominated more than anyone. He got $1 million salary by playing a loony in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and that, plus the 15% of the gross he was entitled to, translated to a total payout that would be worth $60 million today. He also got $10 million for The Departed, 2006, and the same for The Bucket List, 2007, before quitting the acting scene in 2010. Called upon to play the role of the Joker in Batman, 1989, he made what turned out to be a very smart move by deciding to accept a relatively meager salary of $6 million so he could get a cut of the gross and a cut from the sales of merchandise. Due to this arrangement, by 1994, he had earned $60 million from the movie, with this in present terms being equivalent to $110 million. He owns a house in California, another in Hawaii, and at least one in Colorado, plus multiple in Los Angeles. He's also an enthusiastic art collector and has been since the 60s. Number 13. Jackie Chan, $410 million. Jackie Chan is filthy rich, and that gets as much press as the fact that he has repeatedly said that his son will never see a cent of his fortune. Anyway, his films have generated more than $5 billion at the global box office, and in 2016, he was the second highest earning actor on the planet, with 2017 seeing him smiling home with $45.5 million from endorsements and pay from 6 movies. According to Forbes, he made $293 million in gross profit from 2010 to 2018, and in 2018 was the fifth highest paid actor on the planet. Jackie Chan owns several cinemas and content production companies in China. His real estate portfolio includes a slew of houses in both the US and China, but he seems to be into flipping properties. He owns an Embraer Legacy 650 and the Embraer Legacy 500 and has long been Embraer's brand ambassador. Number 12. Sylvester Stallone, $415 million. John Rambo is quite good at making a buck, and he has a $415 million net worth to prove it. The screenplay for Rocky was all his, and to be allowed to star in the movie, he had to accept being paid $23,300, equivalent to $110,000 today. Rocky went on to stun viewers, grossed $225 million, and on a $1 million budget, and made Stallone a hot property. He has, over the course of his career, earned at least $500 million in today's money, taking home over $16 million apiece for movies like The Expendables 1, The Expendables 2, Demolition Man, Judge Dredd, and Assassins. He co-owns Balboa Productions, has properties in California and Florida, and until recently lived in a 20,000-square-foot home in Beverly Hills with Eddie Murphy, Mark Wahlberg, and Denzel Washington as neighbors. He's quite the gearhead and owns pretty sweet rides, including a Bugatti Veyron, a Rolls-Royce Phantom, a Bentley Continental GTC, a Ford Mustang GT, a 1950 Mercury, a Ferrari 599 GTB Fiorano, and a 1932 Highboy Hot Rod, among others. Number 11. Adam Sandler. This fella jumped from Saturday Night Live to Hollywood and has been smiling to the bank ever since. His movies have a combined gross of more than $4 billion, and at various times he was the highest paid actor, with his current annual income typically exceeding $50 million. Word on the street is that he usually charges $20 million per film role, plus a percentage of the gross. For example, in Anger Management 2003, he got $25 million plus 25%, $37 million, of the gross profit. And we better mention the 4-movie deal he signed with Netflix in 2014 for $250 million that was renewed in 2017. He has homes in Hawaii, New Hampshire, Long Island, New York, and Los Angeles. He forked over $12 million for the Los Angeles mansion in 2004 and lives there with his family. He has a special liking for luxury golf carts and owns a Dodge Challenger SRT, a Cadillac Escalade Hybrid, and a Cadillac DTS. Number 10. Mel Gibson, $425 million. Mel Gibson at one time had a net worth of over $850 million, but that war chest took a beating in 2009 when he got divorced. His movie pay includes $25 million apiece for We Were Soldiers, The Patriot, and Lethal Weapon, plus $20 million apiece for Ransom and Conspiracy Theory. Since he couldn't secure funding for The Passion of the Christ, he was forced to invest $45 million of his own money into the movie and got a 50% cut of the revenue. With The Passion of the Christ grossing $612 million plus, Gibson got an easy $300 million. Merchandising and DVD sales of this blockbuster also brought in a combined $150 million to $200 million that he took a cut of. In 2005, he reportedly bought a Fijian island for $15 million, and his cars include a Porsche 968 and a Mercedes-Benz S500. Number 9. Arnold Schwarzenegger, $450 million. While he wowed some in Conan the Barbarian, most of us had never seen hide nor hair of Arnold Schwarzenegger till he was cast in The Terminator and its sequels. Arnie's single biggest movie payout, disappointingly, did not come from the Terminator franchise. He made his biggest bucks from Twins, taking no salary and instead getting a 13.3% of the gross that eventually netted him an amount that would be equivalent to $70 million to $80 million today. As soon as he came to the U.S. at age 21 with less than $30,000 to his name, Arnie began flipping houses. His first real estate investment was a bust, but he kept at it, and before he was 25 years old had made his first million from real estate. Widely known as a gearhead, Arnie owns cars like the Unimog U1300, Hummer H2, Bentley Continental GTC, Dodge Challenger STR8, Hummer H1, and a Tesla Roadster. Number 8. Kevin Hart, $450 million. Kevin Hart got his first success with Comedy Central, and he makes money via movie salaries and endorsement deals with the likes of Samsung, H&M, Hyundai, DraftKings, Chase, Old Spice, Nike, and Mountain Dew. His movies have a combined gross of $1.3 billion, and he owns 85% of Heartbeat, with this stake being valued at $552 million. Kevin Hart makes $40 million to $60 million every year, which is half of what his Jumanji co-star makes in the same period, as we'll see later in this video. His average salary per movie is around $20 million. His main real estate holding is a 26-acre plot that's located within an exclusive Californian community, and it boasts a 9,600 square foot mansion. His garage includes a pair of Ferrari 488 GTBs, a 1996 Pontiac GTO, a custom Jeep Wrangler, a 1965 Mustang convertible, and a Mercedes AMG G65. Number 7. George Clooney. Clooney appeared atop the Forbes 2018 list of most highly paid actors, and his annual income is around $50 million. He got $20 million from Ocean's 11 and $15 million for its sequel, and altogether he has earned around $200 million from TV and movie appearances over the years. Movies apart, he and another fella sold Casamigos tequila in 2017 to Diageo for $700 million in cash and $300 million in bonuses, with his after-tax cut from the cash payment being in the region of $150 million. Nespresso has also paid him an accumulated total of around $40 million to be the face of the brand. His real estate investments are worth over $100 million and includes an apartment in New York, a property in Berkshire, England, a 6-bedroom mansion in California, and a 15-bedroom villa in Lake Como. Number 6. Robert De Niro, $500 million. Per court documents filed as part of a divorce, Robert De Niro made from $250 million to $300 million in the period between 2004 and 2008. When De Niro started, his pay was around $50, which is the very definition of chicken feed. By the 70s, he was getting six figures, and by the 90s, he was getting paid in the millions. From the year 2000 onwards, De Niro's starting salary per movie hit $20 million. While this good fella made most of his fortune playing diverse characters on the big screen, his business interests are substantial. He is the owner of a film production company and the co-founder of Nobu, a luxury Japanese sushi and restaurant chain with a global reach and annual revenue in the hundreds of millions. His properties include a house on Long Island and a 98-acre estate in New York, and he owns the Greenwich Hotel in New York. De Niro also co-owns both the Tribeca Grill and Tribeca Productions, with the Tribeca Film Festival being a project he has an interest in. Number 5. Tom Cruise, $600 million. While wildly successful, none of Tom Cruise's movies during his 40-year career had ever had a box office revenue of over $1 billion. Top Gun: Maverick changed the narrative and has so far brought in a record $1.3 billion profit. Cruise got paid $2 million in the original Top Gun. He topped that by making $75 million for Mission Impossible 1, $100 million for Mission Impossible 2, and $75 million for Mission Impossible 3. He also got a cool $100 million for War of the Worlds. Additionally, he's set to make at least $100 million from Top Gun: Maverick, with the bulk of the money coming from back-end options. From 1983 to 2019, Tom Cruise reportedly earned a total of $745 million, and that's more than what we at the office get in pocket money. He's quite the property flipper and has a need for speed, owning several automobiles, including a Bugatti Veyron and a Celine Mustang. Number 4. Dwayne Johnson, $800 million. Word on the street is that The Rock makes up to $100 million annually from varied movies and endorsement deals, and in 2020 he topped the Forbes' highest paid celebs list. He got $5.5 million for The Scorpion King, $15 million for Walking Tall and $20 million for Hobbs and Shaw, and in 2018 pulled in a total of $124 million, with this slightly declining to $87 million in 2020. The way Dwayne Johnson has things set up, if you got him featured in your movie, you gotta pay him a salary that starts at $20 million. You also have to pay a separate seven-figure sum before he can promote the movie, and he's gonna get a portion of the ticket sales, streaming revenue, and the like. Dwayne Johnson has a reported 30% stake in Teremana Tequila, with the liquor firm being worth up to $3.5 billion. He co-owns the XFL American Football League and partners with Under Armour to release his own line of footwear, clothing, headphones, and accessories. A tiny slice of his fortune has been spent on automobiles like the Pagani Huayra, Ford GT, Ferrari LaFerrari, Rolls-Royce Wraith, and Lamborghini Huracan. Number 3. Jerry Seinfeld, $950 million. You might know this fella from Seinfeld, and it was this TV show and the moolah from his 15% syndication rights that form the biggest chunk of his fortune, with these syndication rights making him richer by over $40 million annually. Seinfeld has long been an avid car collector and seems to be obsessed with Porsches. He owns 150 vehicles, and around 45 of them are Porsches, with all these cars being valued at a combined $50 million to $150 million. Included in his collection is a 2004 Porsche Carrera GT, a 1969 Lamborghini Miura, a 1976 Lamborghini Countach, a 1965 Aston Martin DB5, and a 1955 Mercedes-Benz 300 SL Gullwing. His properties comprise a 12-acre oceanfront estate in New York with a 22-car garage, plus a townhouse in Manhattan and a house in Vermont. Number 2. Tyler Perry, $1 billion. Tyler Perry's Diary of a Mad Black Woman had a production budget of $5.5 million, with Tyler ponying up half of this while Lionsgate Entertainment came up with the other half. The movie grossed over $200 million from ticket sales, syndication rights, and DVD sales, with Tyler Perry entitled to half of that. This was followed by the 14 Madea movies, which have grossed a combined total of $600 million plus at the box office. What's wild is that each of these Madea movies cost around $10 million to make, and since Perry was the writer, director, and producer, he saved money on staff and could take almost all the profits. He got a $138 million payout when TBS forked over $200 million for House of Pain, and is the owner of Tyler Perry Studios. This studio is headquartered at a former Confederate Army base and is one of the biggest on the planet. He owns a 14,000-square-foot estate in the Bahamas, a 22.5-acre property in Los Angeles, and at least 2 private jets, plus a Bugatti Veyron and a Mercedes-Benz AMG GT. Number 1. Jami Gertz, $3 billion. Jami Gertz is an actress and sports team owner, and we wager not many have heard of her. She used to be in that funny TV show called Still Standing. Boy, how I miss it. Her marriage to Tony Ressler is the sole reason she is on this list. Ressler runs Eris Management, an asset management firm with close to $300 billion to look after. Jami and Ressler own the Atlanta Hawks NBA team, have a stake in the Milwaukee Brewers, and have homes in very exclusive and expensive areas of Malibu and Beverly Hills. Jami has been in a single episode of Different Strokes and Seinfeld. Her major film roles included Twister, Listen to Me, and Ally McBeal. Click here to see actors and actresses currently rotting in jail. See you there!